Welcome to the Brahma Kumaris, where a new world is opened up for you. From humble beginnings in India in 1936 to a global organization with over 8,000 centers in 110 countries and 1 million students worldwide. Through their tireless commitment, passionate heart, and determined spirit, the Brahma Kumaris arrived in America in 1974 and have since grown to 35 main centers throughout America. There are also 2 residential retreat centers, Peace Village, located in upstate New York, and Anubhuti, located in Novato, California.
I want to just share a little bit about how the centers of Raj Yoga meditation began in United States. Actually, I was in Caribbean islands and I got invitation from New York that we want to start something about meditation. And it was in 1978 I came here and we rented a very small apartment in Astoria. And from there I found that a lot of people have interest. I realized that there is so much need, and from there onwards then centers started in many other states.
Our centers are safe spaces where you can explore the power of your inner world.
The classes are conducted in many homes, many cities all over across the United States. A lot of people, they learn meditation, they use it, that meditation, at their workplace, in their family. And also I find that children, young adults, because they are so much into what really is the life about.
The Brahma Kumaris are dedicated to personal and global transformation through the study and spiritual practice of Raj Yoga meditation. And at the heart of our teaching is the belief that the pathway to peace and happiness is to remember our original nature as spiritual beings, connected to the one source. In 1981, the organization received recognition as an international, non-governmental organization affiliated with the United Nations and accredited with general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. From organizing large-scale global initiatives to local community programs, the Brahma Kumaris has a tradition of service in every field that fosters spiritual growth among individuals from all backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life.
I hold on to this vision, the world of love, world of peace and harmony, world which is free from conflict and sorrow, where we can live as brothers, one family, children of common parents, one supreme divine power.
This is your invitation to awaken and join us in creating a world of love, peace, and kindness. Om Shanti. Who am I? To think and to believe that I'm divine. Powerful, beautiful, and an offspring of the divine. I am the image and likeness of the divine. And so who am I to speak clearly to who I really am? I am spirit. am soul. And I use this physical form. I am the being of light, here to fulfill love that's unlimited. Om Shanti. Oh, how I would love to be sitting by that ocean right now. It's still chilly here in Washington, D.C., but nonetheless, it's important to be thankful for breath, thankful for a roof over your head, thankful for family, friends. Thank you for health if you have it. Be thankful for food, thankful for a cup of coffee. We could always have so many expectations imposed in our lives, and we don't need to. We don't need to. We have so much more than so many around the world. And even though these are very trying times, my invitation to you is to try to find as much as you can the ability to let go of the clutter of waste, negative, anxious, or just thoughts that are just not healthy for you. It's easier said than done, isn't it? It's always easier said than done. But the real work begins when you decide to say, I'm going to do it. Okay. Today's discussion is about decluttering. And since the lockdown, I have been wanting to go into all the closets and and organize them and declutter them and put them all in order and take things out that are just not needed to be there anymore. And have I been able to? Not yet. I have attempted to take care of a few areas in the house. That's great. We've been by the museum a few times to sit for meditation, to create the vibrations in the space. That's great. But you really have to check if you really are ready to declutter. I don't know if you recall a few years ago I told you the story about the garage and how I would open the door to look in the garage and I would see just chaos and I go, no, not now, not now. And I happened to have needed something that happened to have been in the garage. It was something to do with the RV, the meditation RV. And when we were outside in the meditation RV, I had to get an item in the garage. That item happened to have been in a box. And as I started to go into a box, I started to find treasures and things that I just didn't need. So little by little, I started to unravel the box and take things out. And before you know it, remember, Sister Gita came, Anne came, Shobha came. We all just ended up cleaning up the garage. Now, when we finished organizing the garage, right, and cleaning it up, what we would say decluttering the garage, I think it was in the evening, I found myself sitting in contemplation and saying, I've put all that energy to organize that garage and I didn't make the mess of that garage. And half the stuff in the garage, they're not even mine, so to speak, right? So I was just like, look at that. Do we spend a lot of time and energy in trying to clean up other people's stuff that we have put in the closet of our mind? Do you do that? Do you try to fix people? Do you walk around wanting something from people? Do you walk around waiting for people to tell you they're sorry and to make amends? I was thinking about it, just a small little group of folks, and I was wondering, I go, there's another way I can look at this relationship and how it could work. And then the other way is, until they apologize and say that, and I caught myself going, that's not even going to be the work. The work is, if they've had their own realization, is their own. But also your work is, you don't want anything from anyone. Your source is from God. And that's more than enough. Of course we're going to mess up with each other. Of course we as human beings in the creation, we won't give to each other everything that we need. So why are we expecting so much from each other when we don't even have the everything that we want from ourselves? You see? So when the soul has a very deep link to the Supreme, it doesn't choose to add up with a lot of clutter. It doesn't choose to take on a lot of things, because the space that it has created that is so clean and spacious is so priceless, it's so valuable. The soul says, I can't have you put your garbage in me. Right? Like I can't have you put your garbage in me and for me to keep it rent-free. Now I barely watch the news. I got a video the other day, and it was a video produced by someone that I met for the California Vision 2020. And as I watched the video, I saw this particular person that he was interviewing. She seemed just so sincere, so genuine, and every place this video has gone up, they have taken it down. And I thought to myself, why are they taking down this video so much? A lot of people have come up and said bad things about people. They've spoken ill things about, leaders of countries and CEOs and billionaires, and I haven't seen them remove a video so rapidly as they did, as they have this one. And I wondered to myself, is there some truth to it? Or is it just garbage? And we have to decide, and we have to use the power of discernment. What do I take in, and what do I leave out? How many of you have gone shopping and bought an outfit that you haven't even worn yet? It's still hanging up in the closet. Today, Sister Gita was wearing a jacket that she has worn. It's been an old jacket for many years. She's a little bit cool in the house because we don't have on the heat or anything. We're just what we call in our culture, we're doing tapasya, deep, intense meditation. But there's warmth in her room. But when she walks around the rest of the space, it's a little cool, but it's manageable. So she puts on about two jackets. She has two or about 2.5 jackets, because I don't know what's underneath the rest of the layers. And she's just, lying a little bit kind of, relaxed in the Vishnu position in the sofa. And she looks at me and she looks across to me in Centaur. She says, who is Calvin Klein? And I went, he's your brother. Oh, because his name is on my jacket. I went, yeah, your brother's very famous. He's a wonderful designer. She went, oh. I share with you these things because what I feel about Sister Gita's mind is that she has absolutely emptied all her clutter. And whatever little stuff that she's got left in there, it's just her toys that she plays with. She just plays with her toys. However they are, however they're positioned in her mind, it's just her toys. So, who's Calvin Klein? Oh, he's your brother. Oh, because he's on my jacket. Remember Corona? She thought Corona was a girl. Wonderful time, no? See, when you're totally decluttered, your world is vast. You're unlimited. Life is sweet on the Ponderosa. And that's what today's session is about. So as I go into this very brief explanation, because I really want us to do some meditation today, because that's what decluttering is about. It's about sitting in stillness. It's about paying attention. It's about listening. It's about being aware of what your thoughts are saying. The first place that clutter begins is in your mind. Too many thoughts with too many directions, and I don't have enough will to determine what I want to think and what I want to feel. So it's sort of like it automatically spins in my mind, intellect, and awareness. So like in the soul, it has these three faculties, something we offer a lot in Raja Yoga meditation. Your mind thinks, your intellect decides, and your sanskaras, you become the result of the choices that you make. So imagine if I have a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of desires that have not been fulfilled. And imagine that I'm seeing things inside of my mind that I want or I used to have. And I even see things that just have no relevance, maybe because I saw something in social media or I heard something that someone said on the side, like when I overheard Sister Gita's conversation asking who is Corona, who was she. I wasn't in the conversation, I was just sitting in the room, and I happened to have overheard a conversation which wasn't my business, but it became my business because I smiled so deeply that I've remembered that story even till today. So it wasn't my conversation, but I overheard something and it became a part of my story. So there's so many things inside of the mind that keeps going in and out in terms of thoughts. And in Raj Yoga, we teach you how to train your intellect to be the master of your destiny. That your intellect, which is your conscious choice, your willpower inside of the soul, has to make the decision, the judgment call, has to discern, has to choose. If you really want to allow that thought to be fed in your mind, or what thought you wish to select from your mind to put into action, knowing that whatever thoughts you choose to act upon creates an experience. And so the experience goes inside of the sanskars. So clutter is sort of sitting in our sanskaras. And in order for us to remove the clutter, we have to reach a point that there's so much noise in my mind that I'm no longer useful. I feel weighty. I don't feel clear. There's not a lot of clarity. There's sometimes confusion. And even when I try to decide to put an end to it, it's not enough because I keep repeating the experience over and over again. It's almost like automatic pilot. You know, one of the things that mainstream conversations have been saying is that they want to get back to normal. And where we were before the COVID crisis wasn't a normal way to live. So what is the new norm that you are witnessing or observing or envisioning after this particular period is over in your life? And I wish that it would be a clutter-free society, that the nature is clutter-free, that relationships are clutter-free, that our finances are clutter-free, and that our minds are clutter-free. So imagine the space. So when you have space, opportunity and fortune can always come to us. Look, if you're going to give me $1 million right now, which I keep envisioning one day it'll be left at our doorstep. But if my hands are like this, because I'm so full of holding stuff, which I thought was valuable, but it could be things of the past, it could be junk, it could be nothing of great substance. and you're trying to give me something, but my hands are full, that opportunity and that fortune doesn't come to me. So when we decide to declutter, what we're deciding to do, and write this down, we're deciding to be open for abundance and for greater fortune, because there's space. Because there's space. And every time you clean up shop at home, doesn't the space feel better? Every time you put things back in order, when you finish cooking in the kitchen and you clean the kitchen as if you were never there, when you iron your clothes and it looks brand new, when you spread your bed and you make it neat, when you pick up all the stuff on the ground, when you keep everything in order, how does your whole energy feel when everything is back in order? Clear, clean. That means because everything is clean and clear, fortune, opportunity can come and find you because you're fresh and you're open and you're new. So I'm going to take you through a very simple PowerPoint, and I would just, basically give you some thoughts and ideas to contemplate on and to see how we can be a little bit more free of the mental but also physical clutter as well. And it's important to have some level of clarity. So first you need to check, is it really a clutter? Is my external environment revealing that there's internal clutter? Do you have a drawer that no matter how much you clean it, is just where you put all your clutter? Do you have a closet, no matter how much you try to arrange it, that's where you put all your clutter? I have a little section where I just keep putting my little t-shirt, my shirts, my little jackets, my scarves. I just pile them up one at a time, one little section, and a little bag with a whole bunch of books in it. That's my little section of clutter. And when I go by it and I look at it, I go, what part inside of me still keeps putting all my gunk? And then I leave the room thinking, I'm going to get back at it at some point in time. So now, do you know the source of your clutter, though? Why do we do that? Sister Keith, do you remember when I was a teenager, I used to hide my dirty clothes under the bed? Because she always wanted me to keep my room clean. So she would always come in to check if my room was clean. So when she comes in, it was like brand new. And she would go, oh, that looks very good. But I had all my dirty clothes under the mattress. So that was a sign that's not good. That's proved to me as I grew older, you hide your weaknesses from yourself. That's dangerous. So now, do you know what the source of your clutter is? It's an area that you're not ready to address. It's a part of you that you go, I don't want to go here. And as life unfolds for you, that's where all those emotions that are connected to that part within you that's waste, it just gets stored inside of the soul. And outside, you have a particular area that you just keep storing all your clutter. I know one person, they drink a lot of bottled water, and whenever I go into their space, right there on the floor, there's like a mountain of bottled waters. It's like that's where they put their clutter, right? So we all have a little space where there's just clutter. Sister Gita has bags of paper and book. That's like her clutter. Paper and books that she just never reads, but she likes to hoard them. And she just puts them in a little corner. And I go in her room and I see all her little papers. And I go, the papers symbolize, I guess, wisdom. So she has a lot of wisdom that maybe she doesn't want to look at. This is just me speculating. I mean, I have my little sweaters and my little vest, and it keeps cluttering on all my books and stuff, so maybe it's similar. But there's always a place within ourselves that we're not ready to address, and for some reason, we store a lot of our garbage and gunk there. So keep checking, like walk backwards and kind of play back. Is there something traumatic still sitting inside? Was there a particular period or time, in this incarnation at least, that you can recall that you felt absolutely hurt, ignored, abandoned, deceived? unloved. That's like was the beginning of me starting to accumulate some aspect of clutter, that I kept holding those feelings, and those feelings would be an area that I need to address in the soul. But either we don't have the strength, we don't have the language, we don't have the support, the courage, which is a strength, or we're not even aware yet until something happens and makes me aware. So you've got to decide, do I look within and out now, or do I do it later? And what are my priorities? What is it that you value the most? For me, I value my mind. I want my mind to be the happiest, clearest, purest place that I can live in. And even when it's not very pure, I want to be open and honest enough to say, you can't think about that person like that. You can't go there. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. So at the same time that you're even sometimes polluting your inner world, at the same time you can say, you know what, throw that out. That doesn't give me any form of joy, power, respect, or love. Why am I keeping it? So prepare a list of your top priorities and make sure that your actions and the decisions that you take reflect the priorities that you set. So just for 5 seconds, everyone, as watching it on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, what's your list of priorities? What's really important to you? And this has nothing to do with your kids or your spouse. It's about you. What's most important to you? Take some time. It's important, isn't it, for you to think about what are your priorities? And if you couldn't come up with an answer, take some time tonight. But I recommend that your priorities should begin from within and then outward. You've heard me share on many of the spiritual vaccines the importance of keeping a chart or a journal, or to be able to write down your thoughts and your feelings. The reason why it's important to keep a journal is that your deepest feelings can be put on paper for you to see a little bit more clearly what's actually happening in your mind and what you might need to do to make some sort of a resolution or forward movement. So journaling is a really, really good way to not only relax your mind, but it helps you to analyze and put your thoughts in a good place so that there's not a lot of thoughts everywhere. Have you ever seen some souls who have a lot of various thoughts? They're just unfocused. So generally a sign of when your thoughts are not organized, there's a very, very natural form of a lack of focus, because it goes everywhere. Today, Sister Gita, I spent some time with Sister Gita today. We weren't as busy as we've been. Santosh was, but I was a little bit easier today. And I've been wanting to spend more quality time physically with her. So I went into her room and I spent some time and we did some ironing, and I came up with a mantra that we were singing together, and she went on with the mantra, and both of us did this mantra for about 15, 20, 30 minutes as we were ironing and putting things together. And I can literally tell you this. I could feel the chemicals in my brain being rewired. And even for Sister Gita, she could feel something was happening, that she just felt different. She felt better. So sometimes when we journal and write down things and continuously write things down, it can rewire the way our karmas are unfolding. And I'd like to give you a little assignment tonight and tomorrow if it's possible. And the assignment is to see if you can write 108 times one thing that you wish for your life post-COVID. Let's say post-COVID, I wish to be an embodiment of love. When I come out of this, this is what I want. This is what I am envisioning, that I'll be so loving to assist so many. So in your journal, you write 108 times, I, the soul, am an embodiment of love. And as you continue to write it, you find that you start to slow down, maybe on the 20th sentence. Maybe it starts to slow down or speed up because you just want to get it over with by the time you write it 40 times. But you find that something starts to change when you push through the resistance and you go 50, 60 sentences later, 80 sentences later, 90 sentences later, when you say, I, the soul, am an embodiment of love. And you start to experience something has shifted. That's another way of decluttering inside. And imagine that when that internal shift happens externally, there'll definitely be a shift. As you even try with the practice, with that level of journaling, in your being very consistent, in writing this particular form over and over again, it's sort of like cleaning the kitchen every day. Why do you do it? It's sort of like washing and bathing your body every day. Why do you do it? It's brushing your teeth every day, washing your face in the mornings. And why do you do it? Because you have to let go of the vibrations of the day before. And you have to let go of the vibrations of the energy that you cooked in the kitchen at that moment. So letting go is an important practice in being able to move on and to keep clear and clean. So eliminating unnecessary thoughts and fears and concerns, desires, will help to boost your self-esteem, and it will free up, again, a lot of mental space. Look at that little image that Santosh found. Sometimes it's hard to open your hand, but sometimes you just need to. Because what makes us, fight with ourselves is that almighty ego. And the ego wants to keep you exactly where you are. It just wants to keep you exactly where you are. And it wants you to keep having desires, and it wants you to keep blaming people. And the ego wants you to live in regret and loss and grief. That's what it feeds from. And letting go is a reduction of the ego. It's a saying, the further E goes, the better off I will be. So multitasking, Santosh laughed. He says, once I saw this slide, Sister Jenna, I just thought so quickly of you. And I went, and I thought of you, because that's the last thing you do is multitask. I think mothers and women in particular have this ability that, I don't know, there's a kind of a center to them. There's a core place of love that I've observed that they come from, and they can just handle 100 things without the emotions being put all into each item. People have said it's not normal to multitask because the human soul, which is the mind, intellect, and sanskar, can only decide to do one thing at a time. It's similar to you can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. So yes, in a way, multitasking makes you maybe feel a little bit disfragmented, out of sorts. Very few people have the balancing ability to do a million things at once and still keep their peace. So, are you a good multitasker, especially since the close down and the lockdown? So while there's no harm in occasional multitasking, constant juggling between tasks can limit your attention span, and it increases stress. And because you're moving so fast, then you're not able to really pay attention to where you're putting things, to how you're putting things. But there's one practice that I've appreciated in my training as a teacher of the Raj Yoga meditation. We've been trained that wherever we pick something up, we put it back exactly where we found it. But because there's always a lot of us in the centers, so I don't know who the other person might be who will come behind me. And it's selfish of me to just think I know where it is, but the other person doesn't. So whether it's the refrigerator, the cupboard, even my closets, really, everything is pretty much in order. I mean, the little areas of my jackets and scarves and that little section of books and mail that I have to keep going through, I just wait because I really need time for that. However, get into the habit of, if you remove the coffee from a particular place, you put the coffee right back. If you go into the refrigerator and things are in a particular space, you put it back. If you go into your dishwasher or into the drawer where you get your knives and forks, you put it back where you got it. And what I've loved about something I remembered learning while I was in New York for training is that you would move with a sense of intention that you were also putting peace back, whatever you were doing. So you didn't just come in and threw your clothes down. You came in and you folded and you put it right. You came in and you would put your pens and your things down right. And I've seen that when, for me, little things get disordered and very cluttered, I look at it and I go, that doesn't make me feel like I have my self-respect. I feel it like, this isn't my respect. This isn't my worth. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm feeling about an area that I want to go clean up right after this time together. So it's important for you to pay attention to, if you're a multitasker, or even if you're someone that does one thing at a time, put things back where you got them, or put them back even better than you found them. And then tell a member in the family, say, listen, I'm putting the sugar here, could you all help me and keep it there so I'll know where to find it? So then you share with the family, can you help to keep this clean? Can you help to keep the fridge clean? Can you put this? So everyone has a particular part to play. And you cleaning up the clutter isn't just on one person alone. Taking deep breaths is such an important practice nowadays, to just such a simple form of decluttering. Breath. One more time. One more time. So simple. It feels great, doesn't it? Do you do it enough? A lot of you call it teleporting. Is that what they call it? Teleporting or teleworking? So you're working from home and you have to deal with the kids, maybe the spouse, maybe an in-law, maybe noise. So look at that office, Santosh. Does that look good or what? Right? He's smiling. And so to keep your particular work area in a way decluttered will help you to find more creativity and to be able to think much more lightly. So try to put those pens back in order, those little papers in order. I'm not even thinking of my space, just these little things in order, and get into the habit of wanting to have space. And let me add a very special word to your space. Respected space. Respected space. Get into that habit to respect your inner and your outer space. So be decisive, because clutter is simply delayed decisions, that it's so connected to procrastination. Oh, I'll clean it later. I'll organize it later. Let me just throw it here, then I'll fix it later. Do you ever? Very rare, right? So be decisive. Once you put something down, or you've come in from work or what have you, just get into a routine. Get into a routine. Put it back where you found it. Little by little, if you're walking around your room, wherever you spend the most time, in the living room, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, if your eyes happen to see one thing out of place, just take the time to just go there and put that back. That's it. Just one thing at a time. Get into the habit of making your eyes not wanting to see things out of place. I'm not talking about being OCD though. Just to, no, that could be fits there, you know. Let me put that over there. If I walk and I see a little lint on the ground, I've noticed that sometimes I might pass it 3-4 times. And I'll go, why do I do that? Do I do that to myself? Do I pass within myself waste stuff 3-4 times without addressing it? Yeah, I do. So when I would go back and pick it up, then I would feel like it's that easy. It's that easy to take care of my world. I just have to do it. Is everyone enjoying the session so far? Yeah, thumbs up? Is it easy? Sometimes I get concerned that maybe I'm moving a little too fast. I've been thinking, Santosh, the other day, how every day we've come up with different topics and different forms of spiritual effort. And, it's been interesting, hasn't it, everyone? Every day we take a different dose of our spiritual vaccine to get cured and to get healthier and to get wiser. And I just have to thank, the Supreme Father, that He's given us a great team, Antonia, David, Santosh, myself, all of those that have helped with sending in videos, programs, the Zoom, Marie Flo, Kirit Ben has helped, Kirti Ben has helped, Kirit Bai has helped with their videos, Aditi. It's been so precious, just very, very precious. Very, very precious. So, this is a big one. The media intake. How much of that are you doing? Sometimes people do what they call it binge watching, where they'll sit and watch a binge, I think, the same series or something. So you'll find that after you've watched something for hours, when you get up, you just feel like, what did I just do? You don't feel clean. You don't feel like you put something valuable in you. And half of the things on television are kind of not inspiring anyway, except if you watch See Good TV and you get inspiring TV. But most of the things are not so inspiring. So be mindful of your media intake. So when you tune into your spiritual vaccine, you're actually taking some time to unwind and settle into yourself, and just finding your time to be okay. Go out, play some ball, listen to your favorite music. We downloaded a new playlist for Sister Geeta on Spotify, and you should have seen her doing her Michael Jackson dances and moves. And I posted a Mother's Day greeting, and I sat with her to read some of the blessings and comments. Some folks she remembered, some she didn't. But find a hobby. Painting is something I used to do a lot. I don't do it anymore. I only have, I think, one piece of artwork that I did when I must have been about 16 or 15 or so. But painting, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite. Bike riding, which I don't do, but I know those of you who do bike riding or on the treadmill do that. I have to confess, I do need to move a little bit more physically. But I just have to say, my mind just feels so young that I feel like I am exercising, even though I'm not moving my body very much. But I'm not overeating, and I'm mindful about my weight. So again, anyway, I'm making a very awful excuse in front of all of you. But find ways to just find your spirit in the midst of the day and exercise a little bit and do something that's fun. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that decluttering of your mind, and if you have any thoughts or feelings or questions that you might have, I'd be happy to address them now, or we can just go into a lovely meditation. and sit in that space for a little bit, and I can come back and take your questions. Well, why don't we do that? So we'll go into a lovely meditation of just letting go and just getting that space, finding the space inside of you. I want to give a big shout out to my wonderful brother friend, Richard Perrington. I don't know if you're listening in today, but wonderful conversation with you this morning as usual, and wishing you all the best in all of your amazing endeavors. But thank you for looking out too for the Meditation Museum and America Meditating. We really humbly appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. So let's take a very deep breath and let's let go of some unnecessary thoughts and ideas and just become ourselves and find space. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you, and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time, Om Shanti, welcome back. I remembered when I did that meditation quite a number of years ago. It was really I, the soul, just wanting to break my attachments to illusions, whether it was to a country, a language, my gender. Just wanted to be free from all of those titles. The soul is playing a part through them, but it doesn't have to be attached to them. You know, that was how it felt. Barbara, thank you for tuning in on Facebook. And your question is, detaching from identifying as an American. It is hurting me too much to see Americans turning against nurses and governors, yelling about wearing a mask, the racial issues in the line. I'm more frightened about them than COVID-19. What are your thoughts about this? I've been there, Barbara. Everyone knows how I feel about that issue. What I do know is I can only tell you the steps that I've taken. I value the culture, I value the role of America. And I had to bring intelligence in terms of history that every superpower has had to go through dark days. And that when the citizens in that land begin to forget their highest principles and codes of conduct and values, then the choices that they make will definitely show a degradation of its society. And America has been a very young civilization for a long time. And I feel that we have to apply enough spiritual and mental intelligence that it's now going through its teenage period, or maybe it's going a little bit beyond its teenage period. And this is natural behavior. This is what you're going to get when a society is going through its law of entropy. Rome went through it, Spain went through it, India went through it. You know, so many cultures of the past, Greece went through it, Italy. I mean, everyone has gone through a particular period historically where it started off with very simple, very universal, very pure, energetic value systems. And as entropy, which is the law of nature that just makes things happen. Change has to occur. It's just going through a change right now. And there's still a lot of beauty and there's still a lot of greatness. And that's why I tell you, please turn off the news. Especially if you're not using your days in a way that is of service, productive, or joyful. Because what you're getting is the news and the information, and there's nothing else that you're doing to build yourself. So the first and foremost thing you have to do is to reduce your intake of the information on the outside. Pay attention to programs like this. Get caught up in wanting to hear news that's like this. That's going to make your spirit soar after COVID. That's going to turn to a nurse or a governor and write them a letter and say, I appreciate you. So instead of listening to what people are yelling and screaming at governors and nurses, take that energy, write a letter to your governor, tell them thank you for all that you've done, and you'll feel better. It'll just shift the energy, okay? And of course, the meditation that you just participated in will be a big help. If you play it first thing in the morning, it'll definitely help you to let go of all of that anxiety and frustration. So many cultures have been through dark days. This is now just ours. The question is, are you going to be the light for your country? I think you are. All right, guess what? We're actually going to wrap up on time today. Betty, I know you want me to add another 30 minutes, but the only reason why I've been going over is because the material has been so rich. And, we're not pushing, we're not forcing the time, but I just want to stay committed to our time schedule. But it's just our commitment, because right after this, I have to tune into Sister Mohini, which is our regional director, some of the wonderful thoughts that she's been sharing on her segments. So I don't get a chance to get that sustenance from me. So sometimes I just want to turn to that and get a little bit, a piece of the pie on that side. Anyway, good night. Have a wonderful evening. I wish I could wave a magic wand and take away all of your pain, suffering, confusion, fear. But the irony is you have that magic wand and it's just a thought away. You can end your suffering and fear and clutter by just thinking in a different way. So hopefully that will be our wish and our dream tonight, that we just use another way of thinking. Om Shanti, sweet dreams, stay well, be kind, be loving, be attracted to that which is positive and pure. Come out of this more powerful than you entered it. Raise your vibrations, raise your frequency, be an instrument of positive change. Don't pay attention to the others. It's not our direction, it's not our world. Stay in this world. The world of light, purity, spiritual power will be the future, not physical power. Om Shanti. Good night.